Well, kia ora and welcome into the Harness Half Hour, now proudly brought to you by Airpark Canterbury and HRNZ Marketing. I'm Jess Smith, and this week on the show, we chat to junior driver Kim Butt following her milestone of 100 New Zealand driving wins, which she recorded at Bray Park last Thursday night. Bray from NCP Standardbred is with us to discuss the 2020 National Yearling sales and some updates around the sales themselves. We catch up with Robyn Clapperton from the Cambridge Raceway. Of course, she's sponsorship and corporate sales there at Cambridge, and find out about their upcoming Sunday meeting and what's happening on course. Plus, we have our usual bookie update with Richard Wilson. But first, here are this week's headlines. Sunday's Marlborough Winter Cup was won by 4-year-old Mark III gelding Smoking By. Trained by Mitchell Kerr, Smoking By was driven by Matt Anderson and has collected his 6th win from just 17 starts. Bert Munro was successful in the first Monty Trot for 2019 at Alexandra Park on Friday night. Ridden by former jockey Taylor Wen for trainer Susan Branch, the rising 13-year-old recorded his 7th win with the victory. And the finalists for the 2019 Catch Driver Cadet of the Year competition were announced last week. Congratulations to Oliver Kite, Caleb Bublitz, Cameron Kirkwood and Alana Cameron. They will compete in the final on July 24th at Addington Raceway, with the winner announced at the National Harness Racing Awards in September. Well, one of the highlights from the past week of harness racing action in New Zealand has been the amazing milestone for Kim Butt, 100 New Zealand driving wins. Kim, congratulations. Have you come back down to earth yet?
Thanks, Jess. Yeah, it was a bit of a buzz. Sort of turned around and went to Blenheim straight away, so on the road for a bit. But yeah, Friday night after the races sort of sunk in, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess the long trip home from Bray would give you plenty of time to reflect.
Yeah, the replays got a few goes, so made the trip a little bit easier.
And it was a really nice touch too to have your grandma Jenny there as well, co-breeder and owner of Imran Khan.
Yeah, it was quite cool. She never really goes to Bray, so she was down visiting friends in Mosgiel, so she thought she'd pop out just for that race, and yeah, it was quite fitting that she was there for it, and breeding the horse, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very special. And looking at the photo, she looked proud as punch, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she was pretty happy.
Oh, that's awesome. And in terms of being able to pick up 100 wins still in your junior career, that's pretty special too.
Yeah, definitely. It was the start of the season. I knew I needed the 20 wins, which would have to equal my best season. So I knew it was possible, but it was one of those things. I just sort of let it be. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. So to get it while still a junior is a pretty cool achievement.
Yeah, and going into the open horseman realms, do you have any goals with that, Kim, or are you just going to play it by ear in the first season?
I just play it by ear, really. I've just recently got my trainer's licence, so
great.
That'll probably be a goal to get one of the horses over the line in my colours. So, yeah. But yeah, as for the driving, I'll just keep ticking away and see how things go.
Oh, fantastic. And of course, given your family background in harness racing, you'd have some great mentors to be able to help you. But early on, did you feel a bit of pressure having to carry the Butt name?
Probably when I first started, I did a little bit, but you learn to deal with it and learn that you're your own person and you're making your own way. So one of those things that I think everyone deals with pressure in one way or another at some point. So it's just learning how to cope and how to deal with it.
Oh, definitely. And in terms of mentors, along with your family, has there been anyone else that's been able to guide you through your driving career, Kim?
Probably my partner Johnny Fox has obviously been a massive role in my life and my career, and just all the people I've worked for or driven for along the way have always been great to give me advice and whatnot along the way. I've been lucky. I've had people that are not afraid to tell me when I stuff one up or praise me when I've done something good. So I've been very lucky in my career.
I guess any feedback's good, isn't it? Because you learn from the mistakes.
Definitely, I think especially in this game, it's you can only sort of tell people so much, and then it comes down to experience. And if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know you're doing it wrong, you can't learn from it. So having people around that can be honest and straight up, and it's the only way you can improve.
No, definitely. And of course, it's been a huge year for you as well, getting engaged. Are there wedding plans underway? Not so much at the moment. We actually just recently bought a property as well, so that's been our focus at the moment, and we'll worry about that after. Oh my goodness, gee, you don't do things by halves, do you? You've had a massive year.
No, definitely not. We're only halfway through the year and it's been massive already, so...
Oh, that's fantastic. And just before we sign off, Kim, has there been one highlight in your driving career so far that stands out for you?
Probably making the Australasian Junior Driver Champs in Australia. I think it was about 18 months ago now. Was probably a pretty cool achievement.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Well, Kim, thank you so much for your time and congratulations again on that awesome milestone.
Thanks very much, Jess.
In time for social media news headlines from around the world, starting off with New Zealand. On our Facebook page, Michelle Horton trained her first winner at Forbury Park last Thursday. She features on our social media along with Kim Butt, who of course recorded 100 driving wins. Well done to those two ladies. Also, the Catch Driver Cadet of the Year finalists feature on our Facebook page as well. From Australia, well, we mentioned it last week, but Emma Stewart and Clayton Tonkins, they were dominant in the first round of qualifying juvenile Vicbred heats, winning all 7. For full information, you can check out Adam Hamilton's Twitter feed or follow Aussie News on the HRNZ website. And from the USA and Canada, ex-New Zealand pacer, I should say, Mickey G, continues his good run in the United States. He picked up his 5th win on North American soil in 150.4 at Yonkers over the weekend. If you want to keep up to date with the Yonkers racing action, which does of course feature a heap of New Zealand ex-pacers, you can follow them on Facebook. That's Yonkers Raceway on Facebook. Well, of course, following the Yearling sales earlier this year, NCP Standardbred have been heading around the country and catching up with vendors to get a bit of a gauge of how people are feeling. Cam Bray from NCP Standardbred is now with me. And Cam, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Jess, yeah, thanks for having us on. We have been out and about to sort of seeing a few clients and breeders around the country. With Yearling sale nominations due to come out, will be in post any day this week. Just seeing a few files, doing a bit of a review of last year's sale, and as I say, just getting a gauge for where everyone's at.
Yeah. And what's the overall vibe, Cam?
I think people were pretty happy with last year's sale. Well, you just have to look at the numbers, with everything sort of indicators on the up and up. And selling a few less horses all round. It's been a pretty successful year for breeders. We've got a number of great marquee horses now throughout the world for the New Zealand Standardbred, so the product is there and people want to buy it,
Yeah. So talking nominations are open for 2020. If people are wanting to have a look at that, what's the best option to do so?
Well, if you've been a vendor or preparer consigner for the last 2 sales, you'll get one in the post. If not, just jump on the website, www.nzbstandardbred.co.nz, and just either download or get in touch with any of the team, and we'll be more than happy to send one out to you.
Perfect. Okay, so what are some of the main changes or the main points that you want to touch on leading into next year's sale?
Well, it's probably more so for Christchurch. We've a couple of things going on there. Where we had a temporary stabling complex inside a hopper last year, we've now done a deal with the Canterbury AMP where we're making a permanent structure. So instead of being a temporary sort of setup, it will now be a permanent setup, which just makes the whole thing just a little bit more, permanent and nice and tidy for everybody. We're also going to go and have a second session on in the sales week. So horses that may have been selected for the April sale, we're going to try and pull that forward to extract as much out of Yearling sale week as we possibly can.
And what's the feedback been around that? Have you spoken to a few people about that second consignment?
No, that's sort of pretty new. We didn't really want to release that until we got our ducks in a row and got the nomination forms out there. But I think it will work. It's Yearling sale week. There's a lot of hype, and with the way the figures went on the Christchurch sale here, the last hour of trading, seeing our clearance rate sort of go through the roof, almost gave you the impression that maybe people were sort of just looking to get horses. We feel that we can offer a second session in that day or the following day, depending on numbers, and it gives people the opportunity to buy a few more horses.
Perfect. More opportunities to sell, the better. That's good for everyone. And the parade format, there's a bit of a change to that?
No, there shouldn't be. No, the parading format is going to stay reasonably similar. With Christchurch and Auckland, to be fair, we've done a lot order now, so done away with the days of colts and fillies. Just try and keep it numerical, so it's a little bit easier on consigners and purchasers instead of flicking back and forward in the catalogue, trying to get just a bit more formality about the whole thing. So yeah, just trying to make things a little bit easier for both parties.
Sounds good. And of course, you guys did a great job at the sale at Karaka this year. We saw the great Jimmy Tactor there, a bit of international interest, but that's something that you're really keen to work on? Yeah, well, we're very lucky with New Zealand Bloodstock being our parent company. We have reps worldwide, and we have a lot of our thoroughbred guys, even in New Zealand, that travel to America. We have a agent based in America now, Joe Miller. He has a bit more of a thoroughbred sideline, but again, with our guys being up there, we have had a lot of feedback, from thoroughbred and standardbred guys asking the question because they see these great names up there and sort of want to be involved in it, Yeah, well, it's pretty easy to sell the breed when you've got the likes of Shartin. She's on track to be Mare of the Year again.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And with Lazarus going up there and Tailor Made Farms being involved, that's a real thoroughbred field too, which Tailor Made being huge thoroughbred consigners as well. So there is a lot of crossover, and you're getting agents from up in America now coming down to our yearling sales and showing interest, and so it's all good.
Yeah. And Cam, on a personal level, we'll talk a bit about your role at New Zealand NCP Standardbred. How did you get involved in the bloodstock and auction side of things?
Oh, that's a good question. I started as a stock agent, and just by natural attrition, everyone's made to have a go at least once. If you survive that, you have another go. And quickly I sort of found myself getting a real thrill out of it. So it's just sort of progressed really from, selling bent nails at a clearing sale to pigs and anything you can think of. So I was lucky enough to before I started with New Zealand Bloodstock, to be approached just to do a wee bit with them. And guys like Steve Davis and Mike Kneebone and Joe Walls there. Which was a great opportunity for me because that was something I wanted. For me, it was the pinnacle of auctioneering, was the bloodstock selling. So to be able to work with those guys, and they've changed the way I sell a lot, which is great. It's been a really good thing, and it's just sort of progressed from there, really. Yeah.
Does it make a big difference when you're passionate about the product you're selling?
Oh, you've got to be passionate. Yeah. You've got to be passionate because you are your vendors or consigner's shop window, basically. You've got to promote the horse for them and do right by them. And I think it would be a hard job if you didn't enjoy it to stand up there all day selling something. You know what I mean? I love it. It flies by. It's fast paced. It's high energy. It's great. I enjoy it. Yeah.
How do you cope with the long days and with the standardbred sales alone, let alone thoroughbred sales? They're such long days. How do you mentally get through auctioneering those days?
That's a good question. Lots of coffee. No, but to be fair, it's you run on adrenaline. It is really. And most auctioneers are great talkers, so they could go all day and it probably wouldn't worry them. But I didn't say there's nothing special about it. I've been down and tried all the different potions and that we all try, cough mixtures to make your voice last longer and all that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you're only as good as what you are, aren't you? Yeah.
And do you get a personal thrill when you're selling, you get a top lot or maybe a lot that you don't think is going to hit the crescendo, but you get up to those six-figure lots? Oh yeah,
they are real enjoyment to sell. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't worry me with selling one for 2,000. The joy for me is knowing you've done a nice job, your vendor's happy, you've exceeded expectation. That's probably the one that really does, is you've exceeded expectation. Which at the end of the day, we're just adding the numbers up. It's the horse that's and the vendor's hard work that's gone into it. We're just there, sort of the in between. But no, to sort of get that thrill from them, or they're exceeding their expectations, is a great feeling.
Well, Cam, it's been a pleasure to chat to you today, and all the best going forward for the 2020 sale. And once again, the website probably the best option for people to find out more.
Yeah, it is. And you've got any questions or queries? All our numbers are on there. Feel free to give us a call anytime. We're happy to help.
Airpark Canterbury is Christchurch's only 24/7 privately owned off-site airport car parking. If you feel strongly about supporting privately owned business, support Airpark Canterbury. It's only a short drive to the airport in the Airpark Canterbury free shuttle. So if you want the cheapest parking option around, try Airpark Canterbury. Call 0800 Airpark or online at airparkcanterbury.co.nz.
There's always a park for me at Airpark Canterbury.
Well, as mentioned, we're catching up with Robyn Clapperton from Cambridge Raceway. Of course, Robyn's involved in the sponsorship and corporate sales there. And Robyn, thank you so much for your time. And imagine, even though it's winter, it's still busy enough for you and the team.
Yeah, no, we're all going. Doesn't really matter that it's winter for us.
Beautiful. And of course, this Sunday you're looking forward to hosting a day meeting on course. There's something a bit special and unique there.
Yeah, so we've partnered with Stoneleigh. So Stoneleigh, they helping us with the mulled wine. So we're doing discounted drinks for the first hour. So just a nice way to spend your Sunday. You come on course. Doors are open from 11:30. We'll have discounted mulled wine at $5 for the first hour, and then $10 a glass after that. So just a good way to spend your Sunday.
Oh, fabulous. And good on Stoneleigh Wines for getting involved in that. And I see not only do you have a snack area available in the public bar, but people can choose to dine upstairs as well if they want to.
Yeah, absolutely, yep. So public bar downstairs with bar snacks, and then if they wanted more of a sit-down lunch, more than welcome to head on upstairs, so level 2, to the Skyline Lounge. Best views in the house and awesome food.
Oh, definitely. And even if the weather's slightly under par, which it won't be, it'll be beautiful on Sunday, I'm sure, but it'll be a nice feeling to be able to sit down in the warm with a mulled wine and enjoy the racing action.
Oh, exactly. I mean, just a good way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I think mulled wine's probably one of the best parts of winter, just personally. And Robyn, in terms of the lunch and things, do people have to book, or can they head along on the day?
We do recommend booking, but they can turn up on the day. If they do want to book in advance, they just head along to Cambridge Raceway, to the website, and then click on the date of the race meeting, which is Sunday, the 30th of June, and then just click to book. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Beautiful, loving that. And also, I see a special race sponsored by Ollie Haynes this weekend.
Yeah, so we're celebrating 17 years since his horse, Just an Excuse, has raced on track. So, that's there's a bit of a story to it, which has gone up on our website, and we're going to be posting on our Facebook shortly. So it's really cool to have Ollie sponsor, and Farrier Supplies have also sponsored a race. So there's a bit of a backstory with Just an Excuse, but Tim was the farrier for Just an Excuse. So it's really cool to see them both back on course and celebrating Just an Excuse.
Oh, absolutely. What a phenomenal horse he was. And of course, for you and the team, we might be just under a year out from the Harness Jewels of 2020, but you guys no doubt are already thinking about it. Yeah,
definitely. So we've got our vision board of such. We're planning for Jewels 2020, so it's an exciting time for us. It's we're definitely all very passionate about it, and we feel we did an amazing job last year, but again, we want to raise that bar further, and planning goes in right from now.
Yeah. Oh, you guys did a phenomenal job, and the attention to detail was just outstanding. Thank you so much for your time, Robyn. I know you've got plenty to get organised, but if anyone wants to find out about meetings coming up or what's going on course, the website's the best place to go?
Yeah, that's the one.
Perfect. Okay, so that's the Cambridge Raceway website. Robyn Clapperton, thank you so much as always.
Cool. Thanks, Jess.
Airpark Canterbury is Christchurch's only 24/7 privately owned off-site airport car parking. If you feel strongly about supporting privately owned business, support Airpark Canterbury. It's only a short drive to the airport in the Airpark Canterbury free shuttle. So if you want the cheapest parking option around, try Airpark Canterbury. Call 0800 Airpark or online at airparkcanterbury.co.nz.
There's always a park for me at Airpark Canterbury.
Well, of course, it's that time of the podcast where we catch up with bookie Richard Wilson, and evidently this report might sting a little bit this week. Richard, starting off with last Thursday at Forbury Park, and looks like plenty of activity there.
Yep, great start for punters to the week there, particularly the multi-punters. Seems to be quite a high percentage of multis coming in, so they were off to a good start. There were 3 horses in the middle of the program that did the most damage. Jungle Gem opened 4.20 in race 4, closed off the $2.90 equal favourite, $500 at 4, $3,000 bets at $2.90, the largest of what were a big stack of bets there. And then the next race, no better for us there with Lightfoot Lady. Got home in the last stride, and she opened at $6.50 and closed off the $3.70 favourite. So another big move there. $1,500 at 4, $1,700 and $500 at $3.90. Again, the largest of quite a large pile of bets. And then they say that bad things happen in threes, and it didn't take long for the third one to come around. The very next race, $2,000 each way on Betters Atom at $7.50 to win and $2.60 for a top 3 finish. As the mobile was in motion, so left it very late, this punter, and that proved to be the best bet of the night. Betters Atom straight to the front, never in doubt. So a nasty little period there of about an hour. Thankfully for us, there were a few big misses. $3,000 each way on Woman in Charge at $4.20 and $1.65. There was $3,000 and $1,000 bets on Naya Franco at $2.80. $2,500 on Groomsman at $4.60. $2.5 on Loma Jacker at $7.50. $2,000 Stun Gun at $4.50 and $2,500 Robbie Royale at $2.50.
Okay, so from Forbury to Marlborough day one, did it get any better for you?
Yes, it did. At Marlborough on Friday afternoon, it was a bit tougher for them there. One punter got off to a great start though, race 1, $250 each way on Windsor at paying $31 to win and $5.50 for a place. So a great start there for that punter. A few other big collects came from the top 3 markets. $5,000 on Lilac Change at $1.55, $1,000 on Mini Mine Yet at $2, and $800 on Proactor at $2.25. The big misses there, $3,500 Del McRae's at $1.90, $2,700 Folly's Trouble at $2.80, $3,500 on Stetson at $3. There was $2,200 on Madeline Stowe at $3.20 and $3,000 on Give Me What I Need at $1.95. Okay, and also on Friday, of course, during the night we had Alexandra Park, and what was the action like there, Richard? Yeah, it was a bit quiet there at Auckland. Again, not a lot of big bets on the night. Plenty of nice collects though. $1,000 on Chandelier at 5 was the best of them. Not far behind that, $200 on Ahoka Johnny at 15, $500 on Tommy Lincoln at 7.50, and there was $1,000 Can Sky Fly at 2.90 and $900 on Check-In at 2.60. And a couple we were relieved to see miss out there. $1,400 on Piggy Sun at $6, $350 each way Sunny Pegasus at $7.50 and $2.25, and there was $1,500 on Man of Action at $1.85. Okay, and of course the final meeting for the week was day 2 at Blenheim. Yeah, day 2 at Blenheim. Punters learnt their lessons quite well there from the first day. Definitely a day of split in 2 halves here. The first 5 races ticked over very well for us. A couple of favourites, a couple of second favourites, but the punters zigged when they should have zagged there and backed the other one in each race. And then the nightmare started, race 6, Madeline Stowe. Redemption for an unlucky run on Friday, and she was 260 on opening into 220. 3,750 at 240 and 2,500 at 220, the largest of many bets on her. Then the newcomer to the meeting, Better Act, All the Rage in race 7. He opened at 3.30, closed at 2.20. There was 2,000 at 2.90, 10,000 in the top 3 market at 1.45, 2,600 at 2.50, and what else was there? 1,300 at 2.20. The biggest bets on him. And as I said before, disasters often come in threes, and the very next race, the Winter Cup, was that third nightmare. Smoking by 3:30 on opening, closed off at 185, 2,600 on at 3:30, 2,800 at 290, 3,500 at 270, 1,000 at 240, and then 1,800 at $1.85, just in case there wasn't enough on. And there was a whole heap of multis ending there as well, so with those previous two runners, and we got cleaned up good and proper there. The big bets that missed, luckily there were a few, 4,000 on Morningstar Gold at 260, also 1,500 at 240, and a $1,300 bet at 230. $1,250 on Hands Up Jack at 260, and 1,000 on Champagne Prince at 340.
Oh, okay. So licking the wounds, you'll be looking forward to wiping the slate clean and getting into another week. But multi of the week, you found a 6-leg multi for us this time round.
Yeah, there's a beauty this one, Jess. Just a $10 spend, 6 legs at Forbury Park. Ayuthea to run the top 3, 340. Flaming Jim to win at 3. Spotlight the Valley, top 3 at 240. Better's Adam, top 3 at 240. Art Courage, top 3, 340. And ending on Stun Gun, just to run at the top 3 again, 185. So 5 place bets, 1 win, $10 turned into 8,482.
Beautiful work. And our best cash out of the week?
The best cash out here was again at Forbury Park, $100 multi, Jungle Gem at 360, Lightfoot Lady at 460, so those were the two big movers. Ending on BMAX C at $4, set to return $1,324, but very wisely cashed out for $228 before BMAX C ran second.
Cool, okay, and what about the worst cash out?
A $20 multi here at Blenheim on Sunday. Bodine Overtake to run the top 3, $3.10. Sippin' on Jack, 360. Smokin' by 210, and ending on Paul's Verdict at 390. Would have returned $1,828, but was cashed out for $312 before Paul's Verdict led throughout in the last.
Oh, that would have been a hard watch for that punter. And in terms of the week ahead, as I say, you're licking the wounds, but looking forward to a busy enough one?
We're going to dual action on Friday. So we've got Forbury Park Thursday, Addington and Auckland with another Winter Cup. There seems to be every place has a Winter Cup lately. Yep. So just to remind us that it is winter. That's at Auckland on Friday, and then 2 meetings on Sunday as well, Cambridge and Timaru, another Winter Cup. Yeah,
exactly. But there's never winter in Wellington. It's always beautiful, isn't it?
Well, just as you say that, just today it is, yes, although now the clouds are starting to...
Would we expect... We wouldn't expect anything less. Richard, thank you so much for your time as always.
Yep, not a problem, Jeff.
And coming up harness racing wise this week, Thursday we're back at Forbury Park in Dunedin for Thursday night harness racing. Friday the 2 main centres, Alexandra Park in Auckland and of course Addington Raceway in Christchurch. Sunday also a double header for Sunday racing, Cambridge at Cambridge Raceway and also Timaru there in South Canterbury at Farlap Raceway. And that's it for this week's Harness Half Hour. Thanks so much to Airpark Canterbury and HRNZ Marketing bringing it your way. Don't forget the Harness Half Hour podcast is available in many ways. You can find it on the HRNZ website, the HRNZ Facebook page, on Punters Lounge, which is on tab.co.nz, via Spotify and also iTunes.